Automation's big engine update! I don't actually particularly care about that too much. When I play automation, I'm not really out here to make the fastest car all the time. I'm not out here every weekend making a drag car. I like keeping my cars grounded in reality, and doing that in automation was always a little bit tricky, a little bit wishy-washy. What was reality most of the time? It was a game, and not everything was really laid out in a realistic kind of, this is what real engineers look at sort of thing. First and foremost, pretty much everything was always related to just the performance of the vehicle. Really, it only ever showed things like your top speed and your 0 to 100 results. Also, it showed this graph. To be honest, I actually never really used the traction graph. I would just look at the percent and ignore the rest of it. But this guy... When people would submit their cars to me, one of the more common things that I would always see as a mistake is the gearing would be really, really way off. Either skewed so much towards acceleration or really, really high top speeds. But this graph now shows you what real engineers look at. Just increasing the gearing doesn't necessarily give you better fuel economy, because giving longer gearing means you need to usually use more accelerator to push the engine to maintain those higher speeds. This is a game changer for me. Pun intended. Because now you have a better visualization of why you shouldn't have power graphs that look like this. It seems that all turbo engines that are high powered need to be reworked as well, as this is all over the place now. But you get the idea. This is not really great for road use. Having your throttle more open because you have no power under the curb is now represented over here. That being said, there's a lot of other changes, and I suggest going to their forum post here to actually go checking it out. There's a lot of cool things in here. Today we're going to do something a little bit interesting, trying to incorporate as many of these as possible. Think of this vehicle as kind of like a gunshot, a buckshot, to catch as many things as possible. First things first, we have a new 80s body. So let's go find that. It's an LMP body, and you'll be scrolling down and then immediately just bam, a solid slab of all variations of the same body. Now this looks a little bit weird, and they also call it an LMP body. This is actually pre-LMP. This would be more like your group 5s, getting ready for maybe group C. But I want to pick one, and about 2.5 meters is about where most cars will sit in this sort of time period. But there's also like a front engine variant, and like I kind of want to do that. There's also convertible versions. Weird. I think we're gonna go like a 2.5 meter hardtop non-convertible version. That is a very weird. It looks like that LMP Corvette, I think. Not gonna lie, I'm struggling to find the photo that I'm thinking of. But use your imagination. I believe it was like an 80s or a 2000s-ish sort of model, shaped to look a little bit like this. And that's what it's reminding me of. I just can't put my finger on it. We're gonna go ahead and make this a full-blown race car. It's not gonna be a Corvette, it's gonna be a V12. Wait, I've already missed one of the things. Going back here, we're gonna make an 80s car. Look at this, we can change the years so oh, okay. Anyway, we can change the years incredibly quickly. Why can't we go back anymore? What is happening? Might be because we had the wrong material. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Weird. I'm gonna restart. Hopefully this now works a lot better. Good, okay. We're gonna go with the fiberglass body, steel monocoque, why not? Oh, you know what, actually a space frame, it's a race car. And they said that they fixed V12 sound, so let's pick ourselves a V12. Oh no, we're just gonna go rear wheel drive, so this is all fine. Current engine doesn't fit, that's all good. Gonna go an aluminium engine and make it really big. Right about there, 6.5 liters. Maybe make that a little bit smaller. Make it a 6-liter V12. I think that's fairly good for like some sort of, I don't know, Can-Am maybe sort of thing. And since it is American, I really should go push rod, but I think instead what we're gonna go with is maybe a dual Evercam 4-valve cylinder, full race thing. Oh dear, they've gone with the, hopefully this exports now. I remember this type of valve cover not exporting. This is the first rejigger. The variant capacity is now before this, which I don't fully understand, but sure, okay. Let's see if we can get away with just a cast iron bottom end. Harmonic dampener, we'll see about that later, because we can change the weight of that, but for now we'll leave that. Gonna go a full high revving engine. Oh wait, we're in the wrong year. So we're at 9080 now. That's all good. I'm gonna go carburetor, because there's this extra slider now, and I know that this should be fuel injected. But you know what? Actually, since we're going carburetor, we're gonna go with this. Oh, we can make the engine bigger now. Oh, no, we can't actually. Probably will need stiffer springs. Compression ratio will probably go up because this is gonna be non-turbo. It's gonna stay carburetor. We're gonna go DCOE and we're gonna go 6 carburetors. So that's one throttle body per thing. That is an incredibly gorgeous but tall engine. Don't worry, even though it's saying that we can't fit it, we can actually fit it. I don't know why that error won't go away. Please. Then we got all of this fang-dangle stuff. We're gonna go with a leaded because that's what you would expect to be in Can-Am of this time period. But like a really high like avgas probably sounds about right. Then what do we got here? We got the complete compact, which should be a cast log, very sort of standard even in this time period. Then we got the regular cast low RPM and then the cast high RPM. Oh, they look exactly the same. That's disappointing. Anyway, then we have tubular mid, long, and we're gonna go with a full race on. Oh, it doesn't end up looking like spaghetti anymore. Our crank is exploded, and so is our valve train. So harmonic dampener, immediately it's so much better. But we top out at 6,900 RPM. If we increase the weight of this, look at that. Now it helps our crank out a lot more. You'll also find that our RPM is now over here, which is where I felt it belonged anyway for the most part. It felt a little bit weird to be like tuning things that would require tuning the head to not be over here. Apparently though, we're right on the edge of knocking, so let's change the octane margin. Now, the tooltip for this is clear. What actually is happening here is this is how much leeway you have with, say, inconsistent fuels. If you're running really inconsistent fuels, you'll run that higher, which will mean that you have to run a less efficient fuel mapping. But if you make it really low, then you'll be running like a very consistent, say, like race fuel, which is very highly controlled. Now, let's change carburetor size. Oh, it's all back end. They haven't actually made it physically change it yet. That's disappointing. Now, if you're saying, oh, that's too much effort, don't forget they have a similar thing for exhaust. Now, I know exhaust is a little bit simpler, but I would have loved to have had it here, to be honest. Let's see how it affects our tune. A bigger carburetor is hurting our power. Do we have like a... Oh, we do have explanations here. And this is meant to be the fuel mixture. Oh, so I'm unclear. Smaller allows more fuel because it has a more Venturi style effect, but then it throttles us at higher RPM. Oh, so this allows us to change where our power is coming in. This is huge. Previously, this was really hard to get right because you would have to sacrifice so many things to get low RPM, but now you can like get nuance in tuning. I approve. I'm assuming the same thing goes for manifold side. A bigger one will sacrifice lower but give higher RPM. Oh, there's some weird things happening here that I don't fully understand. Nope, this is the fuel mixture one. That's not gonna help me here. So let's just bring that down to like a reasonable number and play with our carburetor size. Let's run a slightly richer fuel. Oh, that's not actually giving us more fuel. That's weird. Having more fuel and less fuel actually affects power numbers. I don't know why this is not really changing anything. And fuel mixture explanation. Let's now give this one a bit of a listen. I seem to have an erection. My God, this is a gorgeous sounding engine. Just again. Oh my God. That not only sounds so much better than what it did previously, it actually sounds really freaking cool right now. What? That is awesome. Oh my God. I'm gonna be doing so many more V12 builds now. Moving along, however, we're gonna make ourselves a rear-wheel drive. Oh, we can do longitudinal front-wheel drive with this vehicle. Oh, I see. Oh no. So it seems that that's okay. That's just not how front-wheel drive works. Semi-slicks will be looking at that in a second. Then some big brakes. And apparently, if you now have a really lightweight car, you can make the rear brakes even less powerful than before, which will really help with having your brakes be way too powerful, especially on the rear. Oh, we don't have it, but apparently variable steering is out now, and all of these like active suspension stuff works. So I'm gonna have to do a bit of testing with that. It's gonna be a little bit tricky because the last time I did a test, it was really flawed science, so we'll do a little bit better. We'll do a better testing of this. But we're going to go fairly simple compared to complicated anyway, and set ourselves up with a race preset. I will also point out that, say we go with realistic wheels for a normal car, you can see that we've got a graph that goes fairly well, then it hugs around the oversteer sort of sportier line. Previously, if we wanted to have our tires change a little bit, we would just change one number and then the whole graph would shift along and you wouldn't be able to tell what was happening. But now it actually shows the speed difference. So if we increase our tire size on just the front, we'll get a lot of oversteer, but our graph is not doing much better. Let's increase the rears now. Now you can see that the graph is moving along and even further. And now even further. This is rather cool stuff to have. Really super helpful. Apparently it was here all along and I just never saw it. But for new builders, this will be a lot more important. Now, I know I was talking about how important this is, but we're making a race car, so it's not too important. Just know that you really don't want to have a first gear going beyond 100 most of the time. That might be a little bit too unwieldy if you ever need to move along. You'll have to do like big burnouts or something, which is okay. You're not really going to be accelerating from 0 very often as a race car. And apparently our efficiency for going 110 kilometers an hour is about 5 to 7. I can't really tell because when I go to mouse over it, it gets hidden. Sure. What you want is less throttle and less RPM for a car. You want like a good balance in between. And here's like the bands of goodness. Maybe this is like race efficiency? I'm unclear. Performance efficiency compared to fuel efficiency? No, it says fuel efficiency map. I don't understand. Having like high RPM and high throttle should not yield a higher efficiency number. That would be bad. What you want is low RPM and a low throttle position. But apparently the efficiency here is 0. And this is saying that it's thermal efficiency. Sure, this is where I'm most efficient. Anyway, let's move on. We're gonna look at what body morphs we have for this new body. Oh, okay, that can go up and down. All right, sure, why not? That can go forwards, good. Raise those arches up. Can I? Oh, I can move them forwards and backwards. Nice. I think we're gonna go like really stooped backwards because that is what it felt like. Though more modern LMP cars will have them a lot more further forwards. We're gonna stick with back because that's what they did in the 70s and 80s. We've got corner adjustment. What is? Oh, okay. This looks very Group C and top end sort of things from these days. Group 5 as well. But I do like the idea of this being like adapted kind of based loosely upon a road car. Then we have this. Oh, that's weird. Oh no, I can make it even worse. Oh dear. Let's not. There's a lot happening here. Oh my, you know what? Yeah, actually we'll have high on the back, I reckon. We can go super high. But no, we're not gonna do that because that opens up the wheel arch and looks weird. Oh, we could taper it in. Oh, that looks good. So this is like full-blown race car of the era. And this is like your, I'm moving the mouse, whatever. So I'm covering the rear tire, which is not really probably what you want, but it's not too bad. Oh yes, that is awesome. Oh, we can go like full speed tail sort of thing, go like that, but I want to go like vertical right there. And then we could also break, there's a lot to change here. This is really cool. Oh, I love it. Thank you, devs. Give you a big chef's kiss. Mwah. Oh, we could change the cockpit width. I think we'll keep that narrow. And then, we could drop the cockpit down a little bit. Oh, okay. That's a weird slider that sure. Let's drop it though, like it's hot. Oh, you know what? It still looks way too tall. All right, we're gonna have to go back into here. Oh, okay. That's not what I was expecting to see. We can drop that now and give it the right sort of ride height that we want. Oh, that's looking much better. We also have, I think it is wheels? Tread depth. There we go. Weird. Not entirely sure. Just changing. I can kind of see something happening, but not a lot. What about now tread contrast? We can, okay. But the one thing we can do is make slick tires. And now we can export them without having to edit them or make our own thing, and it keeps the tire markings on the side. I love it. I'd love to be able to paint the tire names and whatnot so we can have painted textures on there, but there, that's still pretty good. Oh, we have a lot of paint options too. Nice. I think I have a plan. I'm not a fan of my plan, but I mean, it works. It seems that they still haven't moved this out of the vents area. This is clearly some sort of trim fixture. I just noticed something. Hold on. We got mirrored, which we can turn on and off, but then switch to the other side? Is that a... No, it doesn't work. No, that would have been really cool. That's something to come in the future, I suppose. Oh, that's where they've hidden. Now I don't have to... Yeah, I'm just going to leave that rotate camera up, down. Okay, so you don't have to... interesting. Left side profile. Oh, this is actually something I used as well, using numpads, which I thought was pretty cool. Not everyone knew this, and not everyone has a numpad, so this is actually good to have that in here. And then there's reset. Oh, that made me want to vomit. Anyway, you get the idea. Oh, don't use the fiddle flip button. Oh my, no, now I'm upside down. No, I can't get back. I'm stuck upside down. No. Reset camera. Oh. Are we done here? Like, I've got sneaky little mirrors down there hidden into the thing. That's a bit of a design choice. We got these to cover up the suspension that was perking out. This is pretty much done, yeah. Oh, wait, no, we don't have exhaust on yet. Do we have a side slash for side exhaust? I don't think so. Not by default. I might make that one day. Is that good now? I think we're good. Should probably do an interior. We'll whack that in, then we'll head over. This is not a particularly good body for a front engine, methinks. But then again, having like a tragically dangerous car for the race car driver is pretty much on par for a lot of race series, to be honest. I also am gonna finally get around to testing the camera mechanics. Now, somebody told me that I was doing this wrong, so I'm gonna try 2-in-1. Is this fixed in this version, and will it work if I put this on last? So we got the driver cam export positioner, and we're gonna see whether this actually exports, because I was told that this only works if you place it last. What do we do on the automation test track? 206, oh, that is very slow. Not enough power? I mean, it's a 6-liter V12. This nicely, though, brings me into the next thing. Changing things here used to take forever to update. So let's now just change this, and 3, 4, 5. About 5 seconds later, it updates. Isn't that absolutely fantastic? Apparently, they've rewritten all of the code now to update through a completely different language, which allows it to do all of these fang-dangle things. Okay, we've now got considerably more power. Wonder if it's changed the sound much. I mean, it still sounds like an electric chainsaw, but that's pretty darn cool. So from 206, we now come down to being 204, 2 seconds. Here's the next thing. If you're like me and like to do a lot of modding, I feel as if they do maybe watch some of my stuff. They come pre-unpacked if you deselect this, which I think is rather cool. I'm probably rarely going to use it except if I'm specifically doing F1 cars. But yeah, I'd love to know if this was actually inspired by somebody else and not me. I mean, that would be kind of weird. I'm one of their smallest creators. I'm like, I think 3rd from the bottom out of like 10. Now for the moment of truth. Will it work with the camera? And what does it sound like? Okay. Sounds not ear raping yet, which is pretty good. Oh, the rear diffuser is gone weird. What? Okay, weird. That is a lot less offensive to the ears, I will say. That's pretty good. Except the exhaust nodes are coming out of the wrong place. Oh, I've just noticed something with the motion blur. Look at the total weight up in the corner. Why is that motion blurring? That's a HUD element. That shouldn't be blurring. What the hell? All right, so we're at 1287 kilos. I want to show you something that I haven't looked at myself yet. Under tuning, apparently... Oh, this is cool to look at. Hopefully this actually becomes a active aero thing in the future. Maybe it is already, I don't actually know. Oh, there is a lot more happening here. Oh, there's a lot happening here. And then here we go. This is the things we've got to play with now. We got the beam depth. So previously changing this was always a nightmare and I could never really figure out how to do it. But now we're gonna change it. What was it, like 1280 before? Let's increase the weight to 400%. And it's gone a little bit jiggly, but yeah, we're up to 5.1 tons now on the car. And it doesn't really want to move. But at least the collision mesh doesn't look completely wibbly wobbly. But let's say we wanted to make this a lot lighter now, and instead let's reduce it to 10%. Oh wow, this is going to become incredibly light. And yep, we've broken... It's broken the math. So we can actually change this now. We're down to, it's a bit hard to see there, but 128 kilos. If we were now to change the beam spring and damp down to 10% as well, will that fix it immediately? Unpause? Oh, okay, things break, but it's actually doing pretty well, which is a good sign. That means that with a lot of tweaking, we'd be able to make this work. But I'm just gonna leave this set to default and run with it as it is. I've also noticed that this square will sometimes pop up on automation-made cars. It's a little bit hard to see. Hopefully it's showing up in the recording right now because it's happening a lot. Yeah, hopefully they fixed that issue. I'm not sure what it is. Camera, on the other hand? Damn it, still not working. That is disappointing. Well, how does our car drive now? Driving pretty good. God, that visceral sound of the V12. It's a little bit screamy at the high end, which is a bit unfortunate. I'd love to be able to change like an exhaust resonance maybe to change how it sounds at higher RPMs, but everywhere else, oh, this sounds good. A little bit of understeer, but we're doing pretty well because it's also got a little bit of oversteer as well, as you can see. 2.5 meters was maybe a little bit short of a wheelbase to make for a vehicle like this. That was probably a bad idea. I don't know why that rear bit didn't paint. It's only that one thing, and it's a mod, so that leads me to think that maybe there was an error when making the mod. But, I mean, it's doing pretty well. I am liking this a lot. This is pretty darn cool. Whoa. Hey, hello. Yeah, recall. There we go. Oh, this is fun. With the motion blur turned all the way up, it almost looks as if this vehicle was meant to be a part of the game. I know it's not. You know it's not. But if you squint really, really hard, keep going. Keep going. Are your eyes closed? Good, good. Now that they're closed, doesn't it look exactly like it's meant to be a part of the game? Oh, bro. I love this. Oh, no, brakes are good. Oh, no, I stuffed up. Oh, slow-mo. Ah, frick, I stuffed everything up. I ruined it. You know what I want to do? I don't have a Can-Am map, I don't think. But what we do have is an old version of the Le Mans track. So let's see how this track does around. You know what, actually, hold on. I'm going to set up an actual timer and give it a try this way and see what sort of time. So I think around this sort of time, there was somewhere around 3 minutes around this track. This is, yes, a little bit old of a version of a track. I feel as if it would be a little bit newer. We're not dealing with the chicanes on the straight, but I don't think they started until a little bit later. Okay, hello. Yep, that's fine. We got this, guys. Ooh, okay, very slippery. Ah, these aren't actually slick tires. Okay, let's try that again. Reaching, I mean, what I would consider corner one, and it's already an issue. Oh, I think my rear brakes are too much. So rear brake force, drop that down, say, about 15%. And going into the first braking zone. Oh, a lot more stable. Oh, okay. Oh, this thing likes to kick out really, really bad. Maybe adding a little bit of toe on the rear might help keep this thing a little bit more stable. But you know what? We're doing pretty well, and the straightaway is the most important part here. We don't have a super fast car for top speed wise, but let's see what we do. So I think it was somewhere around 330 kilometers an hour, which is a little over 200 miles per hour. Not the fastest car for this sort of time period, but doing pretty darn well. You know what, actually no. This sort of speed for this time period, doing pretty well. 186, and we're already starting to max out on our top speed. We're in the top gear. Wait, what is the top speed set to? Have I done? I think I may have done this wrong, because this is not seeming right at all. You know what? I may have had the top speed set to 250 kilometers an hour, which is not as good. All right, we're coming up to the bend. Gonna go full sweat mode for this because I want to see if I can go full speed. Hopefully I can. Looks like we got the downforce working. I just had a look at the graph, or the dials. It wanted to kick out there for a second. It was just about to do it, but here we go over the ridge. And how late can we brake? Let's brake it about here. Oh, no, lock-ups ahoy. Nah. Getting a little bit of performance drops under braking. That's that downforce high grip brake lag that we used to see. It's nowhere near as prevalent as what it used to be in the previous versions of BeamNG, but it's still there. They have done some pretty cool upgrades, I will say. It's currently broken as hell. A lot of people are struggling with major issues all over the place, but so far, I'm able to manage most of them. I'm having to disable a lot of mods constantly over and over again. It's not BeamNP, as a lot of people are saying. BeamNP is a lot of the issues people are having. Nope. I didn't have an accident. I don't know what you're talking about. We're all good. See, look at that. My brakes just took a little bit to kick in, as you saw there. But then, yeah, we slowed down. This thing is super sketch under acceleration. That first gear is a real kick in the pants. Yep, that was, I meant to do that. I tried to use the sandbag as a camber. That's what I was doing. Oh dear. So we're crossing the 3-minute mark now. We are no longer going for a record. We don't have a particularly fast car, if I'm gonna be honest. Could have been a lot slipperier in the air, maybe a little less downforce. Whoa, hello. I feel a longer wheelbase would also make this a lot more controllable. I've not done a particularly great job. Oh, no! I saved it! I saved that! Oh my god, stay on the track. Suspension is mostly undamaged. Are we good? Oh, okay, we're doing a sub 4-minute lap. Here we go. We're getting really close. We're only going 175 kilometers an hour with this motion blur. It feels like we're doing 500. Okay, 3 minutes, 48. Let's actually have a bit of a comparison. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Looking at like a 3-minute 24 for the 1950s and 60s to the time period which I'm in, which is from the 79 to 85 sort of time period, 3-minute 14. So 3-minute 48, not great. Hey, that rhymed. Quick interjection before I go to the end part of the video here. You can now make basically a fan car with constant downforce amounts. So this is always downforce. You can see now this is pushing right into the ground and the vehicle is struggling to move. And we can also then set that to thrust so we can fly away. Upsie-daisy. Yeah, this is problematic. I don't know how to feel about this. Hopefully there's like a way in which we can deal with this for doing competitions and whatnot. It's pretty fantastic, but it's also pretty jank, if I do say so myself. I like the fact that this is all possible. I mean, it's all doable, but it's, yeah, an issue for build and race. So I'm gonna have to find if there's anything I could do. Previously, I was able to have ways of knowing whether they were using gravity assists, but this, I don't know how to police in my build and race series. Anyway, back to the ending of the video. So there's a lot of cool stuff to really dig and delve into. Probably gonna be doing like at least that suspension stuff within the next short while. Maybe having a look at some more bodies as well whilst I'm at it. There's an even older 1940s one. Looks a little bit weird. We'll be going over that and having a lot of fun with this. I don't think my enthusiasm for automation is gonna die off for a very, 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 very long time, especially when they keep like adding really cool and new interesting stuff. I know BeamNG has been doing a little bit better recently, so that I'm a little bit happy about. Though I wish they would at least make sure that the game would have less bugs before releasing it on the open public. Currently though, I'm on a bit of a high with BeamNG. It is looking fairly good, and they have mostly fixed those really laggy frame situations under braking, which was a huge bummer for me. I hated it. Still seems to be there a little bit, but it is doing so much better now. Though, for now, what I'm gonna say is thank you to my channel members. You guys are freaking awesome. And that is specifically including Dehelaman and Ruben. Thank you guys very much. But for now, I'll catch all of you next time. Goodbye.